channel. Today I'm here with another haul video. I know you guys love these, so I continue to do them, and I buy perfume every week, so there's always a haul, you guys. I have been doing some shopping. I have quite a few fragrances here that I have acquired, I've bought in the last couple of weeks, maybe more. And then I also have 2 Dossier fragrances to show you guys today. Oh my god, I'm very excited about these 2. They are actually inspired by 2 very popular Tom Ford fragrances, so I'm very excited for these 2. So if you guys want to see what I bought in the last few weeks and hear about the 2 Dossier fragrances, please keep watching. So you guys, before we get started, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and ring that notification bell so you will be notified every time I upload. That way you don't miss any of my content. I think I'm gonna start with the 2 Dossier fragrances that I received. You guys know Dossier is my favorite inspired by brand out there, you guys. Their fragrances are cruelty-free, vegan, they're colorant-free, UV filter-free, and they're also paraben and phthalate-free, and they are made in Grasse, France. That's the capital of perfumery, you guys. Like, it's where all the high quality perfume ingredients are sourced. I realized that Tom Ford Lost Cherry inspired by version of Dossier was actually better in performance. So what I ended up doing was, I gave it away in a giveaway and I ended up buying it for myself, you guys. I bought the Dossier Oriental Cherry again for myself because it was that good. I'm here to tell you, I'm not just showing you these because I received them. They really are good quality, you guys. And by the way, the 2 I'm going to show you today, I'm gonna keep for myself, you guys. I thought about giving them away, but I did like 3 giveaways before, and I gave basically most of the Dossier ones I received because I wanted to share the love, but this time I want these for myself. The thing about Dossier, you guys, is that it's that kind of quality for 1/10 of the designer markup prices, right? If you take Tom Ford, for example, $350. And when it comes to things like Lost Cherry, for it to not even last very long, that's just unbelievable. Dossier somehow managed to make the same scent that smelled exactly identical, and it lasts longer. You really are paying that markup really for the brand name. A lot of us tend to fall for that designer label. If a designer sells something, if it's like Louis Vuitton, for example, even if the bag looked ugly, people are going to buy it. To be fair, I didn't actually know Tom Ford Lost Cherry had such bad performance before I bought it. If I knew that, I probably wouldn't have purchased it. But anyway, so today what I have here is a Dossier Oriental Tobacco, you guys. So here it is. As usual, you have this card with all the information that has the name of the perfume, the notes, what it's inspired by. It's of course inspired by Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. So as you guys know, inside it comes with a sample of the same fragrance, so you can actually test it because of their risk-free system where you can actually order 5 perfumes from Dossier to test out. So it comes like this with the bottle and the sample on the side. So instead of like opening and spraying the bottle, you can spray the sample, and if you don't like it, you could close the box, ship it right back with the prepaid label I believe that they provide. 0 risk, 0 obligation. You can send it right back. I'm going to use the sample. I'm actually going to spray this on my skin. I have my blotter cards, but I'm gonna spray this one on my skin. Oh, ooh, you guys. It's beautiful, you guys. It's a very rich, very kind of warm, addictive type of scent. It's very like dominant in vanilla, and I can smell that tobacco, but this tobacco that's in this is very smooth. Now I'm remembering in my mind's eye the Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille. So it smells exactly like Tobacco Vanille, except whatever that sharp note that's in Tobacco Vanille that sort of goes right up my nose is not in here. It's like not doing that. This is like everything Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille is without the sharpness. It's very smooth, like a smooth whiskey, you know? Oh, and it smells really good. And this would definitely be unisex, but it's a very beautiful tobacco with that vanilla. I mean, Tobacco Vanille, you know, Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille. It's definitely tobacco and vanilla in here is such a sweet, very like edible, kind of strong vanilla, like the real pure vanilla that you put in cooking, not like the fake stuff, you know what I mean? Pure vanilla from the vanilla pod. It's definitely a vanilla dominant tobacco. It's sweet, it's vanilla, there's tobacco, it's warm, spicy, fruity, and there's a little bit of cacao. It's, did I say woody? And it is powdery slightly. I just figured out what that is, that sharp thing in the Tobacco Vanille in the opening, why this version doesn't have that sharpness that goes through the nose. It's because in the opening, the Oriental tobacco has an apricot note. Apricot note in the opening of this kind of makes it a little bit more fruity and palatable, whereas in Tom Ford's original Tobacco Vanille, it opens with a very strong tobacco note with spicy notes. So it's like, you know, goes right up your nose like in the first spray. Let me show you the bottles. This version, by the way, they will have magnetic caps. And since I'm keeping this one, I'm gonna spray the bottle. I wanna test the sprayer. The two I have Dossier fragrances up there. The sprayer is super fine and amazing. I've never had a problem with the sprayer. It's really nice, fine mist. It's like this, see? Really nice, because I heard somebody saying that the cap, the sprayer broke or it didn't work right, something like that. But from what I know, the sprayer is always stellar. Unless of course it's a faulty bottle, which I haven't ever seen one. So anyway, you guys, this version is a lot more smooth in the opening. The apricot note kind of moderates the sharp tobacco note in the opening, and there's ginger, and you guys know ginger is a beautiful note. So here in the Oriental tobacco, you get the apricot note with that tobacco and ginger, whereas in the original Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille, what you get is that really sharp tobacco note with more spicy notes, which is why it just kind of feels sharp or goes right up your nose. And in this version, in the middle, you get honey, vanilla, and cacao. The vanilla is very, very dominant in here. And that honey, it always adds that sort of syrupy touch to fragrances. And of course, the cacao adds that third dimension. And in the original Tobacco Vanille, I believe you get vanilla and tonka bean. And then you get cacao and tobacco blossom. And in this version, that honey kind of makes it, you know, like that vibe you get in Jean Paul Gaultier's Scandal, that kind of vibe with the honey that you get in here. So instead of being in the middle, the tonka bean in this one is in the base, in the dry down. So there's still vanilla and tonka bean, but tonka bean is gonna last longer with this one on the dry down. And then there is dried fruit, just like the original Tobacco Vanille has also dried fruits in the base. And the original Tobacco Vanille also has dried fruits with woody notes. And this one has tonka bean, dried fruits, and blonde woods as the base notes. I know I'm probably never gonna buy the original Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille. I just feel like that sharpness in the opening is too much for the price tag. And then I have another one, you guys. This one is Floriental Coconut. This one is inspired by Tom Ford Soleil Blanc. I actually have the Tom Ford Soleil Blanc, the original, so I can actually compare these two side by side. So this is what Soleil Blanc looks like. So let me spray this one over here. This is the Dossier side. So I'm gonna spray it right there. And then I'm gonna spray this one right there. So we'll see. All right. Oh my God. I kid you not. They smell pretty darn close. There's something very slightly that I can tell. There's maybe one note that's slightly different in here. That's about it. It's very, very hard to tell them apart, honestly. This one, the Dossier version, has pistachio, bergamot, and cardamom, just like in the original, the Soleil Blanc. But Soleil Blanc, I believe, also has pink pepper in the opening, which is the only difference. And the middle is identical, ylang ylang, tuberose, and jasmine, which explains why it's so hard to tell these two apart. And this version, the Dossier version, has coconut, amber, and benzoin, just like the original. But then in the original, there is an additional note of tonka bean. So that's the only difference in the base. Really, really hard to tell them apart. This is a superb, superb inspired by perfume. This is a great dupe for the Soleil Blanc. I would probably wear them simultaneously throughout the summer. I promise you guys I'm going to do another giveaway very, very soon of something different. Maybe not perfumes, but I might do like makeup or gift cards. I want to do an international giveaway where everybody can participate. I was actually planning to make one of the Dossier ones an international giveaway, but I realized that you cannot, individuals like myself cannot like mail perfumes abroad. It's very hard to ship perfumes abroad unless you're a perfume company. So now you guys, I'm gonna share with you what I bought. So let's get right to them. I think I'm going to share these two from Kayali that I purchased just now, like a week ago. So first, you guys, I have two perfumes here from Kayali. I did a dedicated review for one of them. I will link it up here and down in the description box. So the first one, of course, is Kayali Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper 25. This perfume, you guys, is... I have no words. There's nothing, no words to describe it. I mean, first of all, take a look at this glorious bottle. I mean, my fingerprints all over it. What a beautiful bottle. It's mirrored, so beautiful. And this perfume, you guys. By the way, this perfume is Intense, the Intense, not Eau de Parfum. So beautiful. So beautiful. This has that gorgeous pink pepper note in the opening, and it's apparently a note that invokes feelings of falling in love for the first time. I did not know that about pink pepper until I heard that from Mona. You know, if you want someone to fall head over heels with you and feel like a princess, come across like a mysterious, exotic princess that you shouldn't, you know, don't touch me, like I'm royalty. That kind of fragrance, this fragrance, if you ask me, you guys, so it's so beautiful. By the way, the sprayer is just to die for. Guys, I got no words to describe how beautiful this fragrance is. This has Rose de Mai in it. It's also called Rose Centifolia. It's a very hard to source rose note. It blooms like 1 week in the whole year, I believe. It's a very high quality ingredient, and there's also Bulgarian rose in it, not just Rose de Mai or Rose Centifolia, but there's Bulgarian note, which is another very, very expensive rose oil, very expensive perfume oil, period. The quality of the ingredients in here is so stunning. So in the opening, you have saffron and pink pepper, which I think is beautiful. And in the middle, you get that Rose de Mai or Rose Centifolia, the Bulgarian rose, and you get Magnolia, which is a very kind of a sparkling white floral note. And then you get a huge dose of vanilla, you guys, that makes this fragrance so sweet and so feminine, so stunning. With that Magnolia, with the two roses, and then the huge dose of vanilla in the middle, really makes this perfume. And in the base you get sandalwood, you know, which is very, in the base you get sandalwood, which is very sensual. There's musk with that edge, and there's patchouli, and there's golden amber with that sort of resiny kind of gourmand touch. So beautiful. I am so happy I got the 100 ml of this bottle, you guys. I tell you, this is going to be one of those fragrances that for me is going to be date night fragrance, period. Or anytime I want to feel like a completely unapproachable princess, sexy goddess princess, I'll be wearing this. This is very oriental, smells very, very oriental and just very mysterious and exotic. It's going to be one of those fragrances that I will continue to repurchase every time I run out. I own a lot of perfumes. I don't want to even tell you the number of perfumes I have. I have a lot, let's just say, and this really stands out. And not very many perfumes in my collection will I go through a whole bottle of. This is going to be one of the few that I actually run through the whole bottle and have to repurchase. You know what I mean? It's that good. If you haven't gotten your hands on it, run and grab it. This is Kayali Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper 25. So Huda Beauty is having a sale. I don't know if it's still going on. If it is, I will say it up here. So there's a sale going on Huda Beauty website, 25% off. And I jumped on it and I bought another of the Kayali fragrances that I've been wanting to get. I have the small, I bought the small sample set, you know, like that comes with 4 of these small mini sizes. So I have this in a mini version from that sample set. So I fell in love with the scent and I knew I was gonna have to get a full bottle at some point, and the time was right. And I bought the Kayali Elixir 11 as well during the sale, along with some Huda Beauty makeup. So let me get this out of the box. So this one is very, like, look at that juice, you guys, very mysterious looking dark bottle with that juice. Looks very dark and beautiful, and that's exactly what it is. It's like a very dark, mysterious kind of sexy fragrance that is perfect for layering, if you ask me, with like the Kayali musk or vanilla. I think it would be really nice layered with the Kayali vanilla. By the way, you guys, this is a gorgeous rosy scent as well. It's kind of like the same vibes. Again, they are not similar. This one reminds me, it's reminiscent of the Nina Ricci L'Estas Rose Absolute, which, by the way, incidentally, is part of my haul. It has that same kind of vibe. It's not the same at all, okay? It has that dark, mysterious rose vibes. So this one has rose in the opening and in the middle. I think it's the May rose that's in the middle. In the opening, the rose is with a fruit note, maybe like apple or something. And in the middle, you get the rose and jasmine, which is really a good, beautiful pair. And in the base, you get patchouli, amber, and sandalwood. It's a very kind of like dark rose, you know, kind of like a very mysterious kind of rose fragrance. Really like this one. I would say this is amazing for layering with different other fragrances. If you talk about Kayali, I would layer this with either the vanilla or the musk, you know. Beautiful. This is Kayali Elixir 11. Speaking of which, I have the other fragrance that one reminded me of. This one is by Nina Ricci, and somehow I apparently threw the box away. I could not find the box anywhere. I think I don't usually throw the boxes until I do my haul video, but I couldn't find the box. This is Nina Ricci L'Estas Rose Absolute. You guys, this one really took me by surprise. I was not expecting it to be such a stunning fragrance. This one is so stunning. Oh, you guys, really stunning fragrance. I know that a lot of people were saying that this reminded them of, or this smelled like, the Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper 25 by Kayali, but I gotta say, you guys, no. I said that in my dedicated review as well. Check that out. This is also a beautiful kind of dark, mysterious rose fragrance. I heard a lot of people say that the Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper was like a dark rose. It's not. It's not, you guys. It's not at all. It's a very kind of a vibrant fragrance. Whereas now this one, the Elixir, now that one is kind of a dark kind of rose, you know. So I mean, in that sense, if anything at all, Nina Ricci reminds me of the Elixir 11, which again, they're not at all that similar, but they're in the kind of like the same family, if you will. This one is a beautiful stunner on its own in a different way. This is L'Estas Rose Absolute. not Les Taus. Remember that. This one is stunning. I hear the other one is not so great. This is a very like rose, vanilla, warm, spicy amber, like powdery, woody, patchouli, musky, balsamic, kind of fresh, spicy fragrance. This opens with two very opposite type of pepper notes, although they have like similar names. This has pink pepper in the opening and black pepper. The black pepper tends to be a little bit like has a bite to it, whereas the pink pepper is very like sparkly, a little bit more, I guess, bright, you know, I don't know, sweet type of, it has like rose kind of nuances to it, if you will. In the middle, you get the Taif rose. I think that's how you say that. Taif rose, it's like a Middle Eastern rose from Middle East or something, which is a very like particular kind of beautiful rose. This has very much of an oriental vibe about this as well. And then there's, I think, cedar in the middle with that Taif rose. And then in the base you get benzoin and vanilla, so it's very much like the vanilla sweetness is there because benzoin smells like vanilla too. And then there is patchouli and musk. Musk always adds that sort of, you know, like the edge to perfumes. Very pleasantly surprised. It's a very sexy, mysterious dark rose. It's super stunning, honestly. Like, this is something, you know, even date night worthy. It's something that is nighttime wear, I would say. All year round, I would say, but nighttime wear, if you ask me. This is Nina Ricci Les Taus Rose Absolue. So you guys, next I have two fragrances. Actually, the other one has not arrived. I'm still waiting for the other one. When it arrives, I will include that one in my next haul. But this time around, I have the pink version. So this one is something that I heard from my good friend Frances from Happiness Sparkles here on YouTube. I will link her channel down in the description box. She is such a sweetheart, you guys. She's one of my favorite fellow creators on YouTube. I would say she has a heart of gold. She's really sweet. She's very supportive. She's someone who's always there for people, which is something I really appreciate and value in friends. I can proudly call her my friend. She's very nice, beautiful person, and she talks about this fragrance non-stop, you guys. She loves this one. If you know her, if you watch her channel, you know how much she loves this fragrance, you guys. It's none other than Pink Ginger Want D Squared, you guys. This fragrance, oh my goodness, there's that ginger that I just mentioned when I was talking about the Dossier ones, how ginger is a gorgeous note, and this perfume is proof for that, you know. The best part is, look at this bottle, you guys. I mean, this thing, this cap, this is a cap, you guys. It's a ball. It's like a full-on like ball that's the size of a like a billiards, or you know, it reminds me of like pool. It's like a very hefty, kind of fairly substantial ball for a cap. It's kind of cool, actually. Like, I know it takes up a little space, but it's really cool. I've never seen that in any other perfume. Oh, so nice. I'm going to spray this. It's a very like vanilla, heavy vanilla centric fragrance. Really beautiful type of vanilla. This actually kind of reminds me, again, they're not similar at all. Sort of reminds me of the Lolita Olympica Lolita Land perfume. Has that sort of vibes like this one, with that bleeny note in that one in the opening. And you guys, this fragrance has the most amazing opening notes. I mean, for one, there's pink pepper in the opening, and then there's mangosteen, you guys, in the opening. So mangosteen, you guys, is this tropical fruit that has a hard outer shell. It's like dark purple, sort of maroonish kind of outer shell. Inside you get this beautiful, juicy, white, like flesh of the fruit. It's so delicious. And I can actually smell that juicy fruit note in here. Then there's, of course, that zing of that beautiful ginger in the opening with that pink pepper and the mangosteen juicy fruitiness. And then there's citruses in the opening, which gives it life, like a fresh burst. And in the middle you get heliotrope, damask rose, and neroli. And heliotrope is kind of a powdery note, you know. And in the base you get vanilla absolute and Madagascar vanilla, you guys. Like double doses of vanilla. And then there is amberwood and there is woody notes in the base. Such a stunner. I ordered the original as well, the one with the white ball, which is like a very vanilla heavy one, I believe. It should have arrived today, but it didn't. I'm still waiting for it. I will probably include that one in my next haul video. So yeah, this is Want Pink Ginger D Squared. Speaking of Frances, I have another fragrance she kind of, you know, was talking a lot about, and I had already started exploring this fragrance house, and I own a couple from it already, or 3 perfumes from this fragrance house, which is Penhaligon's. I was trying to buy this fragrance and it was sold out everywhere. I mean, even in department stores here. And all of a sudden it showed up on Saks Fifth Avenue website, like out of nowhere. I pounced like a tiger, you guys. Oh my god, it's so hard to find this in the US. And I tried to order it on Selfridges, and Selfridges was sold out of this one for the longest time. Penhaligon's Elizabethan Rose, you guys. Oh goodness, let me take a moment to talk about the box and actually the bottle itself as well. Do you see this one? This is actually a seal, you know. It's the Tudor Rose seal from the Tudors. So this is like, see, and on the bottle, look at how elegant this beautiful bottle is. I adore this particular Penhaligon's line with these beautiful bottles. And there's that Tudor seal right there with the Tudor Rose. So amazing. I don't know how many people actually realize that or know that. But the moment I saw that, I'm like, that makes sense. Elizabethan Rose, Tudor. Elizabeth the First was a Tudor, you know. Her father was King Henry the 8th. So beginning of Tudors, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a history buff per se, but that's basically common knowledge. But anyway, so let me spray this. I'm not saying this smells like Delena. I'm saying this reminds me of the rose in Delena, the original, but without that sour green rhubarb note. This is like a very beautiful, sort of elegant, fresh rose, much fresher than the Delena, the original. So if you took out the rhubarb note, the sour, you know, sharp green cutting through rhubarb note out of Delena, and you added freshness to this, like fresh notes, that's what this smells like. And does it mean that it smells exactly like La Rose? No, not really. Like I said, again, I'm not saying that they're the same at all. This one is a very beautiful, elegant, like just very feminine type of rose. That's very something you would wear to an elegant occasion. I actually included this in my 10 fragrances for 10 occasions video. I'll link it up here and down in the description box. In that I talked about that this is a fragrance that is just ideal for like high tea or an elegant, like a ball or something like that. I mean, and it'll go from day to night, this fragrance. It's everything that Delena is in a lot of ways, with freshness and without that green rhubarb note that sometimes doesn't agree with some people, give people headaches and stuff, you know. But it's not as, I guess, aquatic as La Rose. Again, they're not the same at all. And then there is something very unique about this fragrance that makes it like, there's like nuttiness in this fragrance from the hazelnut note that's in here, which I adore. So it's a very rose, like sweet, fruity, nutty, almond, citrus, kind of floral, powdery, like slightly musky scent. The opening is very interesting, you guys. There's like 2 nutty notes in the opening. There's hazelnut and almond. There is tangerine. The citrus note in here is tangerine, which is gorgeous. There's a slight hint of cinnamon. But the funny thing, you guys, is that you can't actually tell those notes apart when you first spray. You can smell a slight nuttiness. As you smell the opening, that rose comes rushing through to jump ahead. So the rose in the middle, you guys, there are like 3 rose notes in the middle. They kind of jump out and, you know, kind of steal the thunder of the opening notes, so to speak. So you can smell the rose immediately right away when you spray it. And then there's that little bit of nuttiness from the hazelnut and the almond. And in the middle you get May rose and rose oil. So it's a very like rose dominant fragrance. I mean, Elizabethan rose, you know what I mean? And I know where the freshness came from, you guys. So there's this one fruity note, actually 2 fruity notes, that can almost mimic the freshness of almost like ambergris with a fruity touch, you know? You know what I'm talking about? Blackcurrant. Blackcurrant is like a burst of juicy freshness. Usually you get that in the opening of fragrances. This one, it is in the middle, so you get a big dose of it. So there's like that juicy blackcurrant that's almost giving it like a aquatic freshness, kind of ambergris, kind of like, not with the marine vibes, but like just the fresh part of it. And there is plum, which is also a juicy note. So that rose, you know what I'm saying? The rose is very much moderated by the juiciness of the fruits in here. Kind of reminiscent of the Liaison Dangereuse of Kilian. How it has that rose, but because of that blackcurrant and all that juicy fruity notes in there, the rose is kind of a very like fresh kind of rose. That's the same way that I'm smelling here, the rose in here. Very kind of makes it elegant. That fresh juiciness of the fruit kind of somehow make the rose smell lighter and like fresher, you know? And then there's geranium, which always complement rose notes in the middle of this fragrance. So this fragrance is kind of powdery from the violet and orris notes in the base. Orris is like a powdery note. The violet is like one of those blue purple flowers that have like powdery vibes. And then there's musk that gives it the, you know, that beautiful right amount of edge, and vetiver kind of gives it like a fresh from the garden type of rose vibe with that earthy touch. And then there are some woody notes which really rounds up this fragrance. It is such an elegant, beautiful, stunning rose, which is very ethereal and elegant and easy on the nose. And it's very like, you know, like very effortless kind of beautiful that it makes you feel. You know what I'm saying? So this is Penhaligon's Elizabethan Rose. Next I have a gorgeous, stunning beauty from a fragrance house that I just started to explore, and I really don't know what took me so long, you guys. This fragrance house is really my cup of tea. This is right up my alley. Their fragrances seem to have that like extra layer, that potency, that lasting power that I've been asking for in many of my fragrances, no matter how beautiful they are. You know, many fragrances tend to have performance issues, like they don't last very long. This house, you guys, the few that I've bought so far, oh my goodness, they will last you even after you scrub your skin in the shower. I'm talking about Amouage, you guys. I'm talking about Amouage Love Tuberose. By the way, I also ordered Amouage Portrayal Woman, and it's supposed to arrive right now. It still hasn't. They're probably gonna deliver it late tonight. So I can't wait to get my nose on that one, you guys. I guess I will include that one in my next haul video. This is what it looks like in the box. Isn't that stunning? Oh my good grief. I, by the way, included this fragrance in my 10 perfumes for 10 occasions video. This would be an amazing perfume for a bride to wear on wedding day. This is basically a whipped cream tuberose. Doesn't that sound amazing, you guys? Oh my God, look at that bottle. I am in love. Like this little stone, gemstone there. Oh, I am. By the way, these are, did you see that? That's like a magnetic cap. I adore magnetic caps. Guys, I'm not gonna spray this fragrance. Beast Mode Projection, Beast Mode Sillage, Beast Mode Lasting Power. Oh my good grief. I know that I heard people say this is a nice, beautiful fragrance, but why didn't you guys tell me this is just like out of the world stunning? Like really beautiful. This is memorable. This is gorgeous. That whipped cream note, the lactonic in here with that tuberose is just the creamy tuberose. Oh, to die for. White florals are great for brides to wear on wedding day, you know, you guys. And this one is going to be that edgy sort of different kind of white floral, beautiful, just beautiful. Like that's the word that comes. It's just a beautiful woman would wear this fragrance. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, even the bottle looks bridal, you know what I'm saying? It's basically a white floral tuberose, animalic, vanilla, sweet, woody kind of fragrance. The fragrance composition is very simple. It opens with a bunch of stunning white floral notes like tuberose, gardenia, and jasmine. What could be better? Those are like my favorite white floral notes, you guys. And in the middle, you get that gorgeous whipped cream note with vanilla. So sweet. So creamy. That lactonic from that whipped cream is just divine. And then in the base you get woody notes like cedar and sandalwood, which is very like sandalwood is very sensual and creamy also. I mean, I couldn't have thought of a better woody note than sandalwood for this, the other notes. Love, love, love this house, you guys. I also got samples of like Blossom Love, for example. Oh my goodness, you guys. I'm gonna buy that one next. And I also ordered Lilac Love. That's on the way too. The Portrayal Woman is supposed to come today, later today. So I've got 3 more Amouage coming my way. I will include them in the next haul video. Stay tuned. This is Amouage Love Tuberose. I have another one that everybody talks about. And this is, you know, obviously a summertime fragrance. The bottle tells it all too. It looks very summery. This is Creed Aventus for her, you guys. I've been meaning to buy this for a while now and finally got it. So let me get it out of the box here. So this is what it looks like. It's very much, you can tell by the juice color, it's a freshy kind of citrusy fragrance. This one, ooh, very nice. So this one, you guys, is yeah, this one is a fresh fragrance. Like I said, it's very like citrus kind of fresh. There's woodiness in here. It is very fruity, it's woody, it's citrusy. There is like a real freshness about this fragrance. I know it's Creed Aventus for her, but it almost could be unisex if you ask me. So this fragrance, you guys, is like very citrusy in the opening. There's bergamot, there's lemon, there's pink pepper, there's patchouli, there's violet, and there is green apple, I think, in the opening of this fragrance. That violet kind of gives it a slight powdery touch to it in the opening, just a slight bit. And in the middle you get the gorgeous rose and very sensual creamy sandalwood with musk, which gives it that sexy edge. And then there's Styrax, you guys. Styrax is a very like kind of balsamic fragrance note with woody nuances. So that's kind of where I'm getting that woodiness from. Though sandalwood is also a woody note, but sandalwood is a lot more like creamy type of woody note. It doesn't smell particularly like a wood, you know what I'm saying? It's very like fragrant and beautiful, almost smell like a very nice type of flower almost, you know, sometimes. And I know where the freshness comes from. So there is blackcurrant, that gorgeous, gorgeous, juicy, fruity note that I adore. Whenever you find blackcurrant in a fragrance, you guys, it's amazing. Like C and C Intense have blackcurrant. Liaisons Dangereuses by Kilian has blackcurrant. I just love that fragrance note. It's very like juicy and fruity, and it's fresh. You know, it adds the juicy kind of fruity freshness to fragrances. And then there's also peach, I believe, in here as well, giving it more of a like fruity juiciness. And then there is Ylang Ylang, Lilac, and Ember in the base, you guys. Like ylang ylang and lilac, they're gorgeous floral notes. Usually you get them in the middle. So it starts with that like citrusy kind of opening, and in the middle you get that like musk and rose like type middle, and then it's gonna dry down to this sort of juicy, fruity kind of floral dry down. And that's what this fragrance is. So the dry down is just beautiful. I would categorize this in the same category as the Soleil Blanc, like very bubbly, bright summertime fragrances. This is Creed Aventus for her. So you guys, I have another fragrance from Memo Paris. I bought Memo Paris Tamarindo, and I hauled it in my previous haul video, which I will link up here and down in the description box. Tamarindo by Memo, that was my first Memo Paris fragrance, and I got another one from Memo Paris. This is Granada by Memo Paris. The packaging is just really, really nice. I love the packaging, and this is what the bottle looks like. Reminds me of Guerlain Privé line, the private line of Guerlain. This one, you guys, is a summertime fragrance, if you ask me. You can wear this in spring too. This is a kind of a white floral fragrance. This is not as tropically as the Tamarindo. It's a very white floral, vanilla, sweet, fruity, citrus kind of fragrance. So it has a beautiful opening, you guys, with very interesting notes. It has African orange flower, which is a very like sweet kind of white floral. There's grenadine, which has sweet undertones too, and then there's bergamot. So it's like a beautiful like sort of white florally, slightly sweet white florally kind of citrusy type opening. Grenadine is basically like a fantasy fruity note, like grenadine, the, you know, what you use in cocktails. In the middle you have beautiful powdery heliotrope with gorgeous jasmine. In the base you get vanilla and tonka bean, so it's very vanilla smelling in the dry down. There is woody notes and there's musk in the base. Really nice fragrance. You know, it's a beautiful white floral fragrance. So this is Granada by Memo Paris. So the last two, I saved these two for last because they're kind of disappointments. You know, I was disappointed by these two, especially one of them, which is quite expensive, from a fragrance house that I actually really love. And it's not a bad fragrance, you guys. It's every bit as great as it's known to be. I've heard so many, I guess, females talk about this fragrance, and not one mentioned that this one leans very kind of, it's unisex, but it leans very, very, very much masculine, you guys. I'd like to smell this fragrance on my husband. I expected this to be like a gorgeous vanilla, like tonka bean kind of bomb. You know what this is? This is Bond Number 9. This is Bond Number 9 signature scent, you guys. It is not what I expected or wanted it to be. The bottle is, however, to die for. I kind of want to keep it just for myself, I mean just for the bottle, but I think I'm gonna give this to my husband. If not, I'm gonna return it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do right now, but I gotta say, you guys, again, the bottle is so fabulous. I love the gold. I love the see-through, the juice. You can see through the little coin-like print there. This one is very masculine, you guys. This is like a fresh fragrance, masculine type of fragrance for men, honestly. It actually smells like a deodorant my husband has. Seriously, it's very, very masculine. Like one of his Old Spice. That's what my husband said too when he smelled this. This smells like some of my Old Spice stuff, you know? Yeah, this does not smell particularly feminine to me, like at all. This smells like my husband's Old Spice shower gel, my husband's Old Spice like aftershave, like deodorant, that kind of stuff. Yeah, there's nothing feminine about this to me, honestly. No offense to people who love this fragrance. I mean, this is just my opinion. I mean, there's like rose in here, but it's very hard to even pick up the rose note in here. I don't smell the rose. What I smell mostly is the woody, musky type of notes. And the fragrance composition is quite simple in this one, you guys. It's basically rose, musk, agarwood, That's oud and tonka bean. Usually, you guys, when you get tonka bean in a fragrance, you can smell that tonka bean. I mean, tonka bean has that particular strong vanilla-like, vanilla on steroids, kind of dark vanilla kind of vibes. The smell, it's usually very distinct and you can really pick up, and it's very strong. And I do not smell the tonka bean very much in this. It's hidden by other notes, mainly like a massive dose of musk. Oud and the musk are the dominant players in this fragrance. I think that oud that I'm smelling in this fragrance is very kind of masculine smelling, kind of fresh kind of oud, but like in a very like masculine way. So the musk and the oud are overpowering, if you ask me, the rose and the tonka bean, which tend to be more leaning feminine kind of vibes usually. I mean, you get that in unisex and fragrances for men too, but this in no way smells feminine to me. Guys, it's not what I thought it was. I thought this was going to be like a gorgeous tonka beanie, delicious rose fragrance, but it's not. Yeah, I think I'm going to probably return it. I don't know if my husband would want it or not. It's not a love, you guys. Unfortunately, I wanted to love it so much. Really not my cup of tea. So Bond number 9, signature scent. Signature scent for a man, if you ask me. And then the last fragrance I have here is also a disappointment. I had so much high hopes for this fragrance. When I read the fragrance notes, I was on this like summer vacation kind of kick, like, which by the way, our vacation's coming around the corner here in like not less than a week. So I was looking for fragrances with like passion fruit, sort of tropical notes in it. And this one was like an aquatic, tropical, fruity kind of fragrance. And I thought it was going to be exactly what I wanted, but it's not. This is Montel Tropical Woods. Yeah, the tropical part is less and woods part is more. And this one is another one that is very unisex, very unisex. And it doesn't smell the way I wanted it to smell. I thought the passion fruit note, like you would find in other fragrances that I love, you know, like the Tiziana Terenzi, the Atlantide has that beautiful passion fruit note, which gives it this gorgeous sort of tropical vibes. It didn't do that to this one. I don't know what happened to the passion fruit in here. By the way, this is what the bottle looks like. So I'm gonna take a blotter card and spray it now. Pull the pin out. This one has this sort of sharp note that's very, to me, again, leaning masculine, but this is very much a unisex fragrance, but it's almost like a citrusy punch, not in a good way, not even citrus. It's kind of like a synthetic citrus that cuts through everything and dominates everything in here. It is kind of tropically, yes, but it's more fresh than tropical. It's like sweet, fruity, it's tropical, it's fresh. It's very oudy. There's oud and rose in here. I think that oud, just like in the signature scent, in this, the oud in this is very masculine leaning, sort of fresh oud. Oud is so strong in here that it's kind of eating up the tropical part of it, right? And it's got leather in it, like leather accord in it, which again turns this more masculine to my nose. And there's that fresh kind of aquatic type vibes in here as well. And it's also, on top of it all, it's musky and like powdery, which don't exactly go with this fragrance if you ask me. So it opens with passion fruit and loads of like tropical fruity notes, you guys. And I thought, yay, it's gonna smell passion fruity and fruity pineapple-y, you know, like I got all excited. But when you fresh it, I do not smell the passion fruit. I don't smell the other fruity notes, maybe slightly. What I smell in the opening is that strong oud with bergamot. So again, oud with citrus, giving those manly vibes to me, you know. And in the middle you get rose and violet, which is nice. Like violet is giving that powdery, which I feel like clashes with the other notes in a way. And then in the base you get like a huge dose of leather and then musk and vanilla. Again, I think that leather doesn't quite complement the vanilla in the base, I feel. Not in this fragrance. Like again, that oud kind of stays through. That oud with the bergamot in the opening and the leather in the base, kind of those ones kind of overpower the fruity floral parts of this fragrance, making it very much like eating the tropical aspect of it and then also feminine aspect of it, if you ask me. So yeah, it's a disappointment. It's a nice fragrance for someone else. That's the best way to put it. By that someone else, I might mean a man who enjoys like a leather oud tropical fragrance. I think it's too late to return it. I might sell it or give it away or something. Yeah, this is not what I expected it to be. This is Montel Tropical Woods. No, it's a no for me. That's it, you guys. Those are all the fragrances that I bought recently. So I'll have another fragrance haul coming up here soon, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Ring that notification bell so you will be notified when I upload, and I will see you guys in my next video.